Hi, and welcome to episode number 16 of Get Involved Pittsburgh here on PCTV 21 and 47 in the city. My name is Tom Baker. I'm your host of Get Involved Pittsburgh. We really appreciate all of our viewers, both on TV, online. There's a lot of ways to watch our episodes, and we appreciate everyone that tunes in and enjoys the program. This is episode number 16, and it's about a record-breaking year for Big Brothers Big Sisters here in Greater Pittsburgh. I'm the Chief Community Affairs Officer for the organization, previously served as the Vice President of Programs. And BBBS is actually the first thing that I got involved with when I graduated from college. I got involved as a 22-year-old, just had come out of Millersville University out in Lancaster County. I got matched up with my little brother Preston, who was 10 at the time, came up to my waist, and I'm very proud that now 11 years later, Preston is a junior at Franklin and Marshall College. I just saw his college apartment a couple weeks ago. He is doing very well at Franklin and Marshall, doing well in school, playing college soccer. Got to cheer him on this fall as he shut out the Muhlenberg Mules in his soccer games. So Preston is just doing great, and I feel very lucky and feel very fortunate to get to work for the organization that I love. A lot of core of what Get Involved is really about is finding what you're passionate about, finding about what you would do if money didn't matter. If somebody in your life hit the lottery, gave you all the money in the world, you never had to work another day in your life, what are the causes, the missions, the organizations, the things that you would fight for if money didn't matter? So I'm a big proponent of finding those kind of careers, working in the doing good sector. There's so many jobs here, especially in our region in Pittsburgh, in the nonprofit world. So we've got some great guests on our show today. Trisha Hyatt's going to be our first guest in just a minute. We have Mark Bezilla, who's a big brother with us, Stephanie Hart, who's a big sister, Eddie Barry, who's a big brother and the co-chair of our Male Recruitment Advisory Board, and also Mandy Sable, who is the director of our site-based program. So we've got 5 great guests here for episode number 16 of Get Involved Pittsburgh. We're back now with Mark Bezilla. Mark, how's it going?
Very well, thanks, Tom.
Good. Mark works with PNC and also is a big brother with Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Correct.
So thanks for being on the program today. How did you end up getting involved with Big Brothers Big Sisters?
I actually got involved a few years ago through PNC, through my line of work. I work in the charitable arm of PNC and in community affairs, and Jan had come in for a meeting with some staff members and learned a lot about Big Brothers at that meeting for work-related reasons. And then at the end of the meeting, we were shaking hands and saying our goodbyes, and she left me with a few words that they were looking for some young male Big Brothers, and I looked into it after that, and I was sold basically by her presence in the meeting and the rest of the staff. And it's been a great experience so far. So.
I still remember the day of the meeting. Jan came back from it, and she was like, I met this guy. You would love him. He's awesome. He would be such a good big brother. I hope he follows through. And you did, and you've been involved now for a while. So we're very happy that you're part of the agency, that you decided to start something with Big Brothers Big Sisters. Tell me a little bit about your big brother, or your little brother, Eric, and the kind of stuff that you guys like to do together.
Yeah.
He's a big little guy. Yeah,
he's not going to be a little guy too much longer.
Right.
He's a 10-year-old, just had his 10th birthday a couple weeks ago, so he's in the double digits now. Very active in sports, a wonderful kid. He's a big brother himself to his younger siblings, and I've learned a lot about him and about myself through that relationship. I'm the youngest of 3 boys, so I've never been a big brother, right. So that was one of the other reasons I wanted to get involved. And Eric has taught me a lot in that way.
That's great. Now, I saw you and Eric, I think it was 2 Saturdays ago. It wasn't a normal situation. You guys were actually on a science lab, a mobile science lab. Tell me a little bit about that opportunity.
Yeah, so the University of Pittsburgh brought an 18-wheeler that they converted into a mobile science lab, and we got to experiment with some microscopes and some laptop computers. And learned a few different things from the scientists that came in and talked to the kids. But a really unique opportunity that was presented thanks to Big Brothers, and I know that Eric had a lot of fun that day. So.
Well, he's a fun young man for sure. He seems to have
Absolutely.
a good time at just about everything. But you guys actually got to come to our office for a really cool event last year. It was after Antonio Brown signed on to be the spokesman for Bowl for Kids' Sake. You guys actually got to hang out with number 84 a little bit, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was before he sold millions and millions of jerseys here in town, but it was a great opportunity that Eric, being a huge sports fan himself, loves the Steelers, loves Antonio Brown. The opportunity for him to get up close and personal with him, even ask questions, which all of the kids had the opportunity to do was very unique for them, and for most kids a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And also when we were back at the offices for the mobile science lab, I think one of the things that Eric enjoyed most was seeing his picture on the wall in the boardroom
Yeah.
with Antonio Brown. So
You guys make 2 cameos actually on the wall there, which is very
Exactly.
cool. Yeah, so that's great. So it's not always hanging out with Antonio Brown. It's not always going on the mobile science lab. What are some of the things that you guys do on a regular basis?
Again, he's very active in sports, so anything that we can do to tailor it to going to a sporting event or just hanging out and playing kickball
In the rain, yeah,
on a
that's
very
right.
rainy day.
I took a lot of beating for that. And it was a rainy day. Cheryl Jones and I were texting and stuff. She was like, "Should I cancel?" I'm like, "No, I just ran the great race. It's beautiful out." And we all played in the pouring rain. That was an amazing day, though.
Yeah.
And it's memorable. I told Jan and
Very-
Cheryl that would be a memorable day at least.
I'll never forget it. But yeah, I do spend a lot of time going to his either basketball games or football games. Currently, he's playing for 3 different basketball teams right now, so he stays very active during the week with practices, and then has games on the weekends. So if I want to catch him at all during the week, a lot of times it is going out and supporting his teams. But I've also seen him. He recently in December had a play that his elementary school did at the O'Reilly Theater downtown.
That's right.
So I got to see him on the big stage performing.
How'd he do?
He did very well.
That's awesome.
It was actually a take from the play that the Pittsburgh Public Theater is offering right now, 1776, and I went and saw the real one this past weekend. So I was telling the folks there that I was going to be comparing the professionals and the young bucks. So.
That's great. That's really cool. I think for a lot of people watching the show, they might hear about your career, the work that you're doing within community affairs, the charitable trust, making sure that PNC has a great philanthropic handprint in the community. And they might be saying, I'm in college now, I'm in grad school now, I'm a young professional. How do you land a job like that? How do you end up working for such a great corporation and doing such important work? How did you end up in your role with PNC?
Well, there's always a little bit of luck involved, but I did go to school for finance, which is what helped me get a foot in the door at PNC. And then once I was in there, one thing that I've always been taught is to build a solid network, never make any enemies, and I think that's one thing that has helped me not only in the early stages of my career, but throughout my life, is trying to do my best building a solid network and keeping folks informed where you are, what stage you're at in your career, where your interests are. So I had a job in finance and worked with an individual that had moved on to the community affairs world, and just kind of let her know that I was interested if anything had ever popped up. And the day that she told me that something was, I was meeting with her manager later on that afternoon, just because I wanted to share my interest with him. So
that's great.
I've been in community affairs for a little over 3 years now.
Great. We're doing really well here in the region as a young professional. You're actually one of the Western PA Rising Stars for Get Involved this year, so congratulations on that. Through your work with PNC Prep, and Steph Hart's going to be our next guest on the show. You guys were a finalist for the Community Partner of the Year for Big Brothers Big Sisters as well. Tell us just briefly, if you can, a little bit about PNC Prep, what's going on there. I know there's a lot of momentum with the young professionals group at PNC.
Right. So PREP stands for PNC Recognizing Emerging Professionals. We have PREP groups throughout our major markets at PNC, and Pittsburgh's one of the largest networks. And we focus on things like community development and professional development as well, and really have found some local communities or community organizations to partner with, including Big Brothers Big Sisters, to help our employees and the young professionals get involved and learn more about all of the wonderful nonprofits here in Allegheny County and in the surrounding counties, so that they come out of school, they don't have a whole lot of responsibility, might not have families yet or significant others, and we try to offer ways for them to, outside of work, get involved and continue to do positive things. So the PREP group at PNC has been instrumental in helping folks, young professionals like myself, continue to do things outside of the workplace, that have a positive impact on our community.
Two fun questions to finish off the interview, Mark. The first one is, what was your favorite thing to do when you were 6 to 13 years old? That's what the children in Big Brothers Big Sisters started out between 6 and 13. So what was your favorite thing to do in that age group?
I think playing hockey on rollerblades with my big brothers and my neighbors was one of my favorite things that I did growing up. Really enjoyed that. We lived on a cul-de-sac and shut down the road, and every time a car came, somebody was in charge of moving the nets. So that's cool. One of the things that sticks.
That's awesome. And Eric is 10 years old now. In 12 years from now, when he's a college graduate, doing real well maybe, what do you see as a potential career for your little brother Eric in the future?
I think he can do almost anything. He's a very good student, straight A's, and he's does very well in the math and sciences, and is involved in some after-school programs as well. If he's not playing sports professionally, he's already told me that he's going to go back for his master's degree.
Because you're getting your master's now, and he said he's going to get his master's someday too. That's
exactly.
Right.
And he's also going to be a big brother. So he also really enjoys the organization and the relationship that we've built together.
That's great.
So.
Well, we enjoy working with Eric. We enjoy working with you, Mark Bezilla. Thanks for being on episode 16. Great job. Keep up all the good things that you're doing here in the community.
Thanks, Tom.
Okay. Thanks, Mark. That's Mark Bezilla from PNC and Big Brother with Big Brothers Big Sisters. Again, I'm Tom Baker. I'm really proud to host this Jefferson Award-winning television show. It's always great to bring on great guests, just people that are really making a difference in our community. I want to thank my guests from episode number 5, Eddie Berry, Stephanie Hart, Mark Bezilla. We just had a great time. Mandy Sable was here as well, and Trisha Hyatt. It was a great, terrific cast of people that really are making a difference in Pittsburgh. Our phrase in our slogan with Big Brothers Big Sisters is start something. And there's so many ways for you watching at home or online to start something with Big Brothers Big Sisters. That can be as a volunteer, that can be getting a Bowl for Kids' Sake team, that can be being an advocate for us and getting the word out. There's a lot of ways to help. Any parents that are watching at home too, I would encourage you, if you have 6 to 13-year-olds that you think would be a good fit for the program or just interested in learning more about Big Brothers Big Sisters, give our office a call. 412-363-6100 is our number. Our website is just www.bbbspgh.org. Again, it's bbbspgh.org. If you want to start something with Big Brothers Big Sisters in all the variety of ways that our guests today have talked about, please definitely feel free to give us a call. Follow us on Twitter, bbbspgh.org. Same with Facebook. Please feel free to keep in touch with us. There's always a way, though, to start something with Big Brothers Big Sisters. We're really proud to be the National Agency of the Year. 2012 was a great year. It was a record-setting year. 1,222 children that were served through our program, through the great work that Mandy does with her site-based team, through the volunteer work that Eddie, Trisha, Steph, and Mark do as volunteers with our program. That's really what it's all about. I feel very lucky to get to work for the organization that I care about so much. We've been around here for 47 years, coming up on 48 years in the community in Pittsburgh, and I feel really lucky that for now 11 plus years on a personal level I've been involved with Big Brothers Big Sisters. It's just a great organization. So check out the website, bbbspgh.org. Figure out how you can get involved with Big Brothers Big Sisters and start something in 2013. Thanks again for tuning in to Get Involved Pittsburgh, episode number 16. Our website for Get Involved is getinvolvedinc.org. Always a lot of great events going on with our organization, and we'll hope to see you next time on Get Involved Pittsburgh.